and we're going to start with our check-ins. So we're going to start with Linda because she spilled the beans on something before everybody was here. And I want her to repeat what that circumstance was, so it'll lead right into one of the things we need to talk about today.
Okay. Give me just a second. I'm sorry, I took a
Oh,
bite.
sorry.
I know, I'm too.
You're good. Fine.
So today, the day before yesterday, I didn't eat a half a sandwich, and for lunch. So what I noticed was I wasn't tired in the afternoon, and so yesterday I ate the half a sandwich. And that's really about all I can eat, and oh my God, there it was within the hour, if that sooner. I was crashing. I got really tired in the afternoon. I've been telling Sally, gosh, I've been sleeping and taking more naps in the afternoon. When we first started this program, and then she said she never took a nap. So I really noticed eating that half a sandwich on wheat bread crashes me. So I asked her, I go, Sally, I just don't want to feel like shit today. Do I have to eat that half a sandwich? And she said, yes.
So the important part here, guys, is that you are noticing what foods you're already beginning to think are non-functional and they're not working for you. So you're noticing that, and your inclination is going to be to stop eating those foods because you don't want to feel like crap. Well, good. We don't want you to feel like crap in the long term, but we want you to feel like crap right now. So keep eating, whatever it is. And so if the example for you is that, it's Friday night and normally you'd get a pizza, but you're thinking, yeah, I'm already thinking that's not going to be that good. I think I'm going to skip the pizza. Don't skip it. And as Eric says in the video, you may think you're going to skip the pizza, but he's going to know, and he'll show up at your doorstep and tell you to eat the pizza.
I laughed. That was good.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't know where you live, but I do. So it could happen. It could happen. So do continue eating whatever it is that you're already starting to notice is not making you feel good. And the reason for this is it's really all about your long-term success. If you cut it out now without having really had the full effects of that non-functional food, then months from now, you'll be stuck using willpower again to deal with it. We want to get you past having to use willpower so that you have true food freedom. And using the example of the pizza again, it may be that you decide you never want to have a pizza again in your life if pizza's your thing. But it may be that you want to make some alterations to how you want to have pizza or when you want to have pizza. So it might be that instead of using a conventional crust, you may decide that you want to use a straight cauliflower crust. It may be that instead of using cheese, you're just using vegetables or whatever, It could be any number of things. But WildFit really is all about food freedom, and that's what we're aiming for. So don't change anything. Don't cut out anything this week coming up yet. Cool. So except for the bread issue, Linda, how you doing with your water?
Oh, good. I even have my water right here, my purple water right now. But what's kind of funny?
Is that the Extend?
Yeah. What's kind of funny was yesterday, I didn't even think about it. Okay, I've been drinking this every day for the longest time. And I don't understand why yesterday I missed it.
The Extend? So you skipped Extend yesterday?
I didn't think about it. I just drank water because I don't know, maybe because water, faucet, turn it on, drink it. Maybe that's why I wasn't thirsty.
Well, and it may just be that drinking the Extend has become a habit more than anything else.
It's so tasty.
Well, we'll check in on that again next week and see how you feel about it.
So we had to touch bases too. Like I'll eat stevia. And I didn't know if that is something that we are naturally give up, or what?
We're not giving up anything this week. Nope. If you're using stevia, keep using it at this moment.
Right.
We're not
Okay.
giving up anything this week.
I didn't want to give it up now, but I didn't know if because it's natural, if that's something we can have, or maybe never mind. I'll wait.
Uh-huh. No spoiler alerts here. By a show of hands, who has seen today's video? Cool. All right, good. That means I get to do somewhat less talking if everybody's seen where we are. Cool. Anything else for you, Linda, on check-in wise? How you feeling overall?
Okay. I'm a little afraid about this week. I'm trying to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner while I'm sucking down all this other stuff.
We'll come
Because I
back to
can't.
that.
Okay. All right.
We're going to definitely talk about that kind of stuff in detail and how it really works in the real world. Okay.
Okay.
So, and if I miss it for some reason, bring me up short. I want to make sure we cover that for you.
Okay.
Cool. I'm going to just kind of do this in the order that you're on my screen. So Stan, you're next. How you doing with the breathing water first?
Breathing and water are good. So yeah, there's not much to say about those, I think. Because we're not supposed to cut anything out, I actually had some wine last night and thought about it beforehand and during and after. So there isn't really a dialogue because Eric said we weren't supposed to cut anything out, so that was that. But I have kind of a food timeline for that. What I realized is that most of the time when I take a glass of wine, it's because it's time, not because I necessarily want it. I think it's absolutely become a habit. And that kind of, in a horrible sort of way, I'm reproducing what my parents used to do when I was a kid. Only with them, it wasn't wine, it was martinis. And I've kind of had a martini phase, but switched that to wine. So I think that was the reason, and it's not a good reason, but we're not supposed to cut anything out right now. It definitely was a little bit relaxing, but it didn't really taste that terrific. And comparing to evening before last, when I didn't have any, my life wasn't better last evening. Afterwards, definitely worse. I felt kind of heavy and logy and not in the mood to do the kind of work that I did the night before when I hadn't had anything to drink. And I also noticed that it sort of messed a little bit with my memory. You and I talked on the phone last night, and I had to ask you again today a very basic fact question that I had asked you last night. So that's not good either. So in general, I mean, I see good reasons not to have it, or at least not to have it routinely. I think, having it as part of a celebration with friends is a different matter, but that's not the habit part. So that was a lot of thinking. And then the other one was more recent. That was chocolate this morning before lunch. And if Eric had not specifically said, if you want to have a piece of chocolate, have the piece of chocolate, I wouldn't have had it when the thought occurred to me. But what that was it's been a month now since the fellow who was supposed to fix screens in my house actually broke the mechanism for a window. And today, somebody was supposed to come and fix it, but he didn't have the parts. This is the second time that's happened, that he didn't have the parts he's needed. So I was frustrated by that. And where did my thoughts turn? My thoughts turned to having some chocolate to make myself feel better, which is a bad thing, but I'm glad I actually realized the connection now, because I have not made that connection before. So that part's a win. So I had the chocolate, and it was not, I think spiked chocolate is not as tasty as it might be. And then afterwards had a little bit of heartburn. So that was that. So that's kind of my learning in the last 24 hours, which I think is actually pretty cool.
I'm going to say I think it's pretty significant. Good job, really good
Thank
job
you.
on observations for both of you guys so far. Dana's joined us, so I'm going to go out of order because I know she's got an appointment that she's got to leave for, even though she just got back from camping. So Dana, if you would unmute yourself and introduce yourself, since you haven't actually been here live yet. So like, where you're from, why you decided to do this, what's most important to you about moving forward with WellFit.
Well, I'm Dana Burke. I'm from Salem, Oregon. And Sally, Linda, and I have known each other for quite a while. I decided to join this group because Sally was doing her teaching for her WellFit certification. And because she looked so great when we saw her, when we went camping together, I thought, that's not the same Sally, it's a different Sally. And if changing my food will help me feel better and lose a little weight, that's a bonus on top of it. So that's why I did it.
Cool, super cool. So my first question for you is, because you just got back yesterday, right?
Yeah, I just watched the first day.
Okay. So if you can, I'd like you to try and catch up over the weekend. We do have, and I would do it this way, actually, Dana. I do it out of order. I would watch today's video next, and then go back and do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because we have enhancements that you may want to go ahead and start this weekend in the buffer zone, or you may want to wait until Monday. But if you're trying to catch up over the weekend, you won't know what that answer is if you're doing it completely in order. So I'd do today's video first and then go backwards. Okay.
Okay.
And the things that you want to start paying the most attention to initially are making sure you've got a good water content intake. Basically 6 to 8 glasses a day, even more doesn't hurt anything. And I don't know if you spent any time in the Facebook yet, but there's a bunch of resources in there as well that you might want to check out. And I know time is like super limited, especially just coming back from a vacay. So water intake, you want to pay good attention to that. And we want breathing exercises done at least twice a day, 3 times a day is better. Eric's recommendation is 5-5-5. I know that you and Linda and I have done a lot of box breathing, 5-5-5-5. Either way is fine. And you want to repeat 5 times per set, at least twice a day, 3 times a day. Cool?
Cool.
And then the thing to really pay attention to is don't cut anything out. Don't try and be good. What you
Well,
want-
actually, I had a candy bar, and that's the first candy I've had in 2.5 months, and it made me so sick.
Good.
It was unreal.
If you want another one, have another one. And really,
I don't want another one.
well, you say that right now, but it could change, right? It could change over the next.
It could change.
Yeah.
It could change next camping trip. I might try it again, but
Well,
it's not going to be for a
probably-
while.
Unless you're leaving in a few weeks, probably by the next camping trip, it won't change. But if it comes up over the weekend or next week and it's like, wow, I really want a candy bar, have it, because we don't want you taking anything away right now. What we want you doing is really paying attention, just like Stan just described, how you feel when you make the decision to eat something, how you feel while you're eating it, how you feel afterwards, and both emotionally and physically. So
Well,
that's-
physically, it made me really sick.
yeah. So start paying attention to the emotional aspect of what you're eating and why as well. So cool. Any questions that you have coming up so far from what you've seen so far?
Not yet.
Okay, cool. Because you're catching up, if you've got questions coming up over the weekend, just hit me up on text or whatever, and we'll do what we need to get you back up to speed with everybody.
Okay.
Awesome. So yeah, so good job, good start, and yeah, it's going to be a fun ride. We're seeing
It'll be
a lot of stuff. We're seeing a lot of stuff come up already from folks. So yeah, cool. Thanks for being here. Linda, you don't know Stan. Stan's my brother.
Hi, Stan. I've heard a lot about you. Good
Hi,
things.
Dana.
And Sandra has joined us. She's the only one actually that I had not known until, wait for it, I was on my way back from camping in Oregon with you, and my background that I'm using on Zoom right now
Mhm.
is Vista Cellars. That was where I spent my last night. And I think I told you it was so hot when I got there. I walked into the tasting room and, spent the afternoon day drinking with Sandra, which was awesome, and talking about what was going on. And she was really interested in being able to join. So I'm really grateful that worked out. And then Jeanette is another friend of mine and a local realtor here. She's the sales manager for the Coldwell Banker office. So now you know everybody a little bit.
Did she come to your party?
No,
Okay.
no. Cool. All right. So Stan, are you feeling pretty complete with your check-in?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to make sure I got to Dana because I know she's got to jump off for an appointment, and I didn't want to, I want to make sure we got her at least on the right track. Cool.
No,
Okay,
thanks for asking. I'm good.
Good. So Sandra, why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself and tell me what's going on with you, starting with water intake. Let's start with water intake first, because I know that's a challenge for you.
It is a challenge. I need to continue working on that because, I'm only doing 4, maybe 5 cups a day. So I do need to still work on that. So right now, when you guys mentioned that, I went and grabbed my bottle of water.
Cool.
Because I did talk to my friend yesterday, and she told me about that app. Because I started putting the reminders on my phone. I was doing every hour, but it gets tiring putting that on your calendar. So my friend actually told me about that app. And so I put the app on my phone now, so that helps. And you can actually keep track of how much you've been drinking throughout the day. So whether it's water, whatever it is, you can keep track of it. So that's helpful.
Cool.
But yes, definitely need to keep on working on the water.
So does the app give you a reminder to go drink?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah. So
Good.
that reminder, though, I think it's only every 2 hours or something like that. So I might have to see if I can up it or something like that.
Yeah. One of the things that you'll find is, and I think everybody that drinks a lot of water here will agree with this. When you are fully hydrated, and that means 6 to 8 glasses a day. When you're fully hydrated, your skin looks better. You actually feel better, and you are much less hungry.
Yeah.
So we want to get you up to that point as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I'm hoping this weekend will help also because
it's going to be hot.
Unfortunately, it's supposed to be 114 degrees here.
Holy moly! Wow.
I even, on purpose, I looked up to Tehachapi because I was like, they got to be hot. No, you guys look better than us right now. So I was like, son of a gun. Supposed to be 114 tomorrow, 112 on Sunday.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked. I think Sunday's supposed to be the worst day for us, but I think we're going to crack 100.
Oh, yeah.
I envy you. Yeah, it's supposed to be like 107 or 108 here, but with all the smoke in the air, I'm not quite sure we'll make it, but we'll see.
Yeah, and we're all smoky again too. I don't know what's going on. I haven't had a chance to look. So yeah, so good job. Just keep picking away at the water. Get that up as quickly as you can. Have you started having a glass of water when you first get up in the morning yet?
No.
Try that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because keep in mind that while we're sleeping, we're losing like 1 liter to 1.5 liters of water.
So, what's sad too is that I know it's not good, but I feel like I'm like, I need to guzzle down my water. So I'm not drinking water fast is not good for you either, right?
It's not hugely great, but it's not horrible.
Okay.
I mean, if you're drinking a gallon fast, yeah, that's not good. But, if you're downing a bottle, I mean, when you say fast, like how long?
Oh, no. I mean, I'm just talking about maybe half the bottle.
Yeah, at one time?
But,
yeah, that's not a big deal. I do that all the time.
Okay.
When I get up in the morning, this is a 14-ounce glass. Well, what you can see of it.
Yeah.
This is a 14-ounce glass. I put 2 of these down back to back first thing in the morning in under a minute.
Wow.
How many swallows?
I don't know. I just keep drinking.
Oh,
like
see, I
I poured
count my swallows. It's so funny.
I just
12
kind of poured
swallows.
down my throat.
Then I know I have 12 more to go and I'm good.
Yeah. So,
You know,
this is actually my 6th glass of water so
that's
far.
good.
Yeah.
And I like the recipe you posted for making your own electrolyte water, because I do love lemon.
Mhm.
I do love lime. So anything with that, I can, it'll help me. So I did see that as well.
Cool. And how's your progress on the breathing exercise? Is that going okay?
It's going okay.
Say a little bit more about that. What's okay mean to you?
I haven't done it as much as I should.
Okay.
So I will get on top of that as well.
Yeah, and it's not that we're trying to give you things just to be difficult. These are actually things that are going to make a huge difference in how much progress you make. So,
Oh yeah, I believe it because I do like to do meditation once in a while as well. So I do believe it. I just need to get on top of that.
Okay. Cool.
But yes, and then I saw the video yesterday for today. So I saw that. So the only concern I have about next week is how to incorporate more vegetables. So I'm gonna have to look for recipes, right? But I know that they don't necessarily have to be super healthy yet, right? Just incorporate vegetables this week, next week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did look at that also. So, so that way I can go ahead and go to the grocery store and start prepping for that.
Cool. So you're telling me veg is not your favorite food?
I just don't know how to cook anything.
Okay.
I'm not the best cook.
So here's one of the things that's really interesting about WildFit, and Eric said it in the video today as well, which is ideally you don't want to cook them. And if you're going to cook them, the second ideal would be frighten them, just cook them lightly. Don't turn them into mush. Because for one thing, they taste horrible when they're turned into mush, as Stan and I know from growing up, because that's what we got to eat all the time. It was horrible. It was really bad. My mother was not a good cook at all. So one of the how do you feel about salads?
Not bad. I don't like salad dressing, so usually I'll use like a lemon or a lime. So I don't mind salads at all. I just need to buy the ingredients. The problem is that because I'm buying for myself, I'm living with my parents right now. They obviously are good with eating whatever. So that I could see being a challenge just because when I buy groceries, one, I get sick of eating the same thing all the time, so I don't finish stuff, but I go to waste. And then that's what makes me want to just go and buy food, at the drive-thru or whatever, because I'm like, yeah, it's easier, it's faster. So.
How far are you from the grocery store?
Oh, not far at all. Maybe 2 miles.
So one of the things that I've discovered from living WildFit is that I go to the grocery store a whole lot more frequently. And the reason for that is that I do want the variety. But if I buy all of the variety at one time, I can't possibly eat it all because I live alone, right? Yeah. I can't possibly get it all eaten before it's going to get rotten. So I go to the grocery store every couple of days now so that I can get a variety of different things so I'm not eating all the same stuff. And you might be in the same position.
Yeah, sounds right. Yeah, I should do that.
Yeah, and so what I've been finding is I'll put any vegetable on a salad. I do zucchini, I do yellow squash, I do cucumbers, I do tomatoes. In fact, I just ate a salad before I jumped on with you guys. Cucumbers, tomatoes, I can't even remember what was in there now. Oh, bell peppers that came out of my garden. And then, just a bunch of lettuce.
Yeah, and I remember that because I remember when we were at the winery, you went over to the refrigerator and I think you bought a squash that day. And because you were talking about it being good for dinner.
Yep.
So I remember that, yeah. I just got to, one of my friends a couple weeks ago, I was at her house and it was really good because they eat a lot of vegetables and what they did was they barbecued them all.
Yep.
And so it made a big difference because I'm all like, yeah, barbecue, I can eat it. No problem because it has a lot of flavor. It's good.
Well, here's an interesting thing about all vegetables. In my experience, all vegetables become more sweet if you either roast them in the oven or put them on the barbecue. In fact, now some things are like way too sweet. So for example, I used to think I didn't like eggplant.
Yeah.
I thought I didn't like it at all. And now I roast eggplant because I do not like eggplant raw. I've done that, not my fave. But I'll roast eggplant in the oven and then dump it on top of a salad. And every time I take a bite of eggplant, it's like super sweet. It's bizarre how sweet it tastes to me at this point. But yeah, and you can roast any vegetable. That's my
Yeah.
favorite way of cooking vegetables.
I did buy some Brussels sprouts the other day, so I'm gonna try roasting those.
They're awesome. I love roasted Brussels sprouts. Would you like a method for that real quick?
Yes,
Okay. It's
because I don't like mushy.
Yeah, so it's real simple. Here's exactly the way that I do it. I cut up a bunch of Brussels sprouts, depending on how big they are, into halves or quarters. Okay, and usually you have to cut off the stem end just a little bit because it starts to turn brown. Okay, cut off the stem end, put them in halves or quarters. I put them in a Ziploc bag because I'm kind of lazy about how I do stuff. So I dump them in a Ziploc bag. I add some salt and pepper. And depending on how, like if it's a quart-sized Ziploc bag, I'll put in about a teaspoon of olive oil or some other decent quality oil, okay? And then close the bag up, shake it up, so I get a little bit of oil all over the stuff. And I just dump it on a cookie sheet and put it in a 400-degree oven for some period of time, which I can't tell you exactly.
Yeah, I can go.
I can. It's 15 minutes.
Well, it's generally 15 minutes, but it also depends on how much moisture content there is in the Brussels sprouts.
Fair enough.
So I would check them at 10 and give the pan a shake, move them around a little bit, and then check them like every 5 minutes. You want them to get a little bit kind of like browny, crispy on the edges.
Yes.
And,
Yeah.
and that's typically it's going to be somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes, depending on how accurate your oven is, how much moisture content there is and stuff like that. But especially getting started, I check them like every 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that'll help a lot because I don't like mushy,
Nope.
anything mushy. So I bought myself like an air fryer. Also trying to use that.
Okay, so air fry them. Don't even put them in the oven.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think of that.
Oh yeah, that's how I do it.
Okay, I'm gonna
I
do that
just
then.
air fry 'em. So I have, my air fryer is not the one with the basket that you like close the lid. Mine's part of my toaster oven. So same exact thing, 400 degrees, except that in the air fryer, it typically is on the order of about 7 or 8 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've been using it to make my snack this week has been hummus,
Uh-huh.
and I've been making my pita chips at home with the air fryer.
Cool.
So
Good.
yeah, I'll give that a shot then. Good to know.
Good.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how are your conversations going with your food devil and your food angel?
They're going okay, but at the same thing, I'm like, I feel guilty because I have been eating some crap food, and I know I'm supposed to keep on eating my crap,
Mm-hmm.
but I do feel guilty. And so yesterday, I'm like, yesterday I bought myself Jack in the Box because it was fast and easy. I have my angel and my devil talking to me, and what I decided was I just didn't eat it all. So I ate, I left some of it because I was like, but I did feel like crap afterwards. And so, yes, I have been noticing all of that. So
Good.
it's not good. Yeah.
So don't do that next time. If you want to eat the whole thing, eat the whole thing. I mean, just like we were talking about with Linda,
With my sandwich.
don't cut it out, right? Because we actually do want you to feel like crap right now, as odd as that sounds. So that you really get the benefit of learning how to not use willpower to avoid eating something that you know is a non-functional food once you know that. So really pay close attention at the beginning when you have the thought to go hit Jack in the Box. What's driving that thought? It may appear to be, oh, well, it's fast, right? That might be the first thought, but
And cheap. Yeah.
dig a little bit deeper on that and see if there's some emotional driver in there as well. Because the emotional hunger is the one that for most people is the most difficult to really get to, have the food angel hold the talking stick all the time.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sandra, I have a
Yeah.
question for you.
Mhm.
When you went into Jack in the Box and you were looking at the menu, did it actually look like the picture once you got it?
You know, it did. I'm like, the sad part is that when I went to Jack in the Box, I already knew what I was going to order. That's the sad part.
Oh, I see. Because I was
But
watching
yeah.
that video Sally
Oh, I know.
posted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that video that you posted the other day, or that
They
on
modeled
Facebook
the
about the
food.
pizza. Oh yeah, that grossed me out about the
I
pizza.
always wonder how it got so cheesy because I have never seen that on a pizza.
Yeah.
That much. It's like cheese.
Yeah, my cheese never pulled away that way.
I never pulled away. I was even lucky if there was enough, one little string that pulled away.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, thank you. And I'm glad you were here today. Sorry about
Thank
the
you.
issues we had earlier in the week. I'm actually keeping a text box open so that I can pay attention if somebody's having difficulty getting on, but I think we're past the technical difficulties now. So thank you all for your patience with that.
No, thank you.
Jeanette, what's going on with you? How you doing with the breathing and the water to start with?
The water, unbelievable what a difference the water has made. Unbelievable. I'm a little pissed at myself for not knowing that sooner. But yeah, unbelievable. The breathing, as stupid as this is, I keep forgetting to breathe. I need to put a timer or something on my phone. Because I'm a pretty regimented person, and I need to figure out how to transition that into my life. I keep forgetting until I come here and go, oh shit, that's right, I need to breathe. So I need to work on that, and I need to figure out how to do that. Absolutely love today's video. The frighten it a little bit was fabulous.
Uh-huh.
It made me laugh, but I totally knew what he was talking about. Frighten the little vegetable. So that was really good. So yesterday, I can't remember what I had for breakfast or lunch. I can't remember off the top of my head. But what I do recall is that 2:30 hit, and that's typically when I get a Starbucks coffee.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, but I'm not really feeling it because I'm hydrated. I'm not as tired as I typically am. But I went ahead and got the coffee because that's what I typically do. It's that habit, like Stan's glass of wine, looking at it, you're like, I really don't need it. I really don't want it, but I typically do it. And maybe I'll get tired later, and you have that inner dialogue, which makes me feel slightly schizophrenic until I listen to the videos and I realize, no, this is normal to have this inner argument with myself. So I got the iced coffee. I got halfway through it, started feeling nauseous, started feeling like I needed to eat to make up for the jitters. And I'm like, no, I'm going to drink it. And I sat there, and I'm a little stubborn, folks. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little stubborn. And I thought, screw this. I'm not going to drink it. You can't make me drink it. And I thought, no, I'm going to drink. So again, that little inner dialogue. And I'm like, he can't make me drink it. He's not going to know. Screw him. I went, no, it's only going to hurt me if I don't drink it. So I drank it. And I remembered a conversation my dad told me when he was a kid. He got caught smoking cigarettes behind the barn.
Uh-huh.
And his mom locked him in a coat closet. It would not let him come out until he smoked the whole pack.
Oh.
My dad never touched a cigarette again. And I'm like, I'm going to freaking drink this coffee. And the whole time I'm envisioning my dad in the coat closet smoking cigarettes. Does that make any sense to anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Right? So I drank it, and sure enough, the nausea did not abate for probably 3 hours. And because of it, I ate dinner late because dinner was not appealing. And my son made homemade pasta ragu, homemade ragu sauce with tomatoes from my garden, onions from my garden, everything. And it was fantastic. But I ate it late because my appetite wasn't there. And so then all of a sudden I'm hungry. I ate twice as much as I should have. And I'm like, it's like fixing a car. When you fix something that's no longer effective, like an alternator or a belt, then it makes the other things in the car work more effectively or less effectively, and then you got to replace those pieces in the car. And I feel like that freaking cup of coffee threw me off for the rest of the day. So I ate dinner late, didn't sleep well, and then I, of course, I woke up this morning with an attitude. So
You want me to remind you what you had for breakfast yesterday?
Yes, please.
Cinnamon French toast at Alabama Hills Cafe.
Oh, that's right.
Remember the shaking hands at lunchtime?
The shaking. Yep. Yep. The shaky hands. And that's something else I've been really, really bad about, doing my daily check-in and keeping track of all the answers. I haven't been doing that. I need to. Yeah. Yep. So yesterday was just a crap day, but I ate all the foods that I, normally would have, except
Good.
this time I'm paying more attention to that inner dialogue, and I'm actually paying attention to how I feel. Normally I'm so focused on getting contracts done, making phone calls, training, education, scheduling, getting things done, that I ignore what my body's feeling. And now I'm actually listening to it. And it's interesting. What was also interesting is that at 8 o'clock last night, I was still mentally sharp. I hadn't gotten that fuzzy brain that I typically get when I'm tired at 8. And I really accredit that to water.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Truly do. So I think that, and then, I woke up this morning, again, nasty attitude, little grumpy attitude, and saying, well, I'm not afraid of giving up any foods. I don't, fuck this thing. And had that little thing. And then I started thinking, right, Sandra's laughing, but I'm like, I'm not afraid. I can give up food. And then I started thinking, the weather's going to be cool. I need to start planning Thanksgiving, where we're going to have it, who's going to come. Dressing. Oh, crap. That's bread. Oh, crap. Oh, man. And I realized there are things I am afraid to give up. I just hadn't acknowledged yet.
And that's a great awareness. The good news is that there are lots of other ways to be able to make a really nice holiday meal that do not include stuffing sugar into your turkey.
Right.
Which is what stuffing, dressing is.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
but that's it.
So you guys are all doing great. I love the awareness. I love what you're paying attention to. Super, super cool. So let's talk about what's coming up over the weekend. And you don't need to tell me what your thoughts are yet in terms of whether you're gonna, start on the weekend or you're gonna wait until Monday. Either way, it's up to you. And it doesn't have to be all or nothing either. It's like, let's say, for example, you want to start putting in the fruits, you can do that. And if you want to wait to start the alkagizer, that's fine. And I have a question for you guys. On your site where you get the video, did it give you the recipe for the alkagizer, or do I need to post that for you?
No, we have it.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure because I don't see the same stuff you do at all. I don't see any of your stuff actually. So cool. All right, so let's talk about the fruits first.
The alkagizer, is that posted on our Facebook?
No.
Or
It's
it's
in
in
the video. There's a link underneath the video.
Okay,
It
cool.
gives you the recipe. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So I took a
Thank you.
picture of it so I'd have it on my phone. So if I forgot the ingredients when I'm at the store, I would have the recipe.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know where it was.
And there's also a link to Wild Fit Foraging or something like that. That is a 4-page PDF that gives a list of fruits and vegetables that are recommended.
Oh yeah, in the food guidelines.
Yeah, right.
For
Yeah.
the week. And that the food guidelines change for every week, guys. So
okay.
I think that should be over on the right-hand side of the video, maybe. There should be a link there. There's like a green box, I think, from what somebody told me. So look there for the food guidelines, and you'll want to download those. And it's also helpful in terms of planning your shopping. So fruits for this week coming up. We want you to be eating at least 2 to 3 pieces of fruit first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Right? We don't want you eating fruit any other time throughout the day. So fruit should be the first thing to eat. And you've got 2 choices in alkagizer. You can have the alkagizer mild, which includes an apple, or you can have the alkagizer prime, or actually it includes several apples, I think, or you can have the alkagizer prime, which has no apples, no fruit in it. And if you want to, it's perfectly okay to sip on the alkagizer at the same time that you're eating fruit. That's absolutely fine. So how many of you guys are eating fruit on a regular basis currently? Okay.
Just for breakfast.
Okay. But you're having other concentrated foods with it right now, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah. So we want to make that change for you so that, you know, you've got a good 30 minutes between finishing fruit and eating anything else except your Alka-Geyser. Okay. And does anybody have any challenges around being able to make the Alka-Geyser, having, you know, a decent blender to be able to do that? I know Linda's good. I know you've got a Vitamix. I know Stan's got a Vitamix. How about you, Jeanette?
I have a NutriBullet.
Oh, okay, cool. That works. And what about you, Sandra?
I have a NutriBullet too.
Awesome. Then you're all set. Perfect. I have a NutriBullet now too, actually, which just arrived yesterday. I haven't, I have a Vitamix as well, but I bought a NutriBullet because it was a lot cheaper to put in my travel trailer. And leave
It's
it.
funny because I had a NutriBullet before the Vitamix, and the NutriBullet is in my trailer.
It's
And I also bought that, you told me, you sent me that link from Costco's, that mixer.
uh-huh.
I bought the whole thing.
Yeah, I did. Oh, I did too. It's
Yeah,
not here yet
yeah.
though.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it too.
We're talking about a stick blender, an immersion blender.
Oh, how come I didn't get that link?
It was just a conversation between Sally and I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
we were just talking about it. And actually, I was going to offer you my used one if you wanted to try it out for a while before you decided that you wanted to move into immersion blender land.
Okay, cool.
Sally, I think I kind of talked a little bit about it this morning when I'm on it, just texting you all morning long and bugging you. Is one of my biggest fears is eating a lot of food at once. I just don't have that capacity. So I was worried about having my 2 to 3 pieces of fruit, then having the shake, and then having breakfast.
Yes.
There's just not enough room to do that for me.
Well, yeah, so here's how you do that.
Okay.
Here's how you get around that. It doesn't mean that you have to pound down 2 or 3 pieces of fruit right away. You don't have to do that, okay?
Like, what do you
So-
mean?
I'm
I
sorry?
could have like 2 or 3 pieces over a period of time before.
Yeah,
I go-
absolutely,
Oh, okay.
absolutely. It's just that you don't want to eat any other concentrated food until you've gotten the fruit down.
Okay. Okay.
And so you get up early, like
Yeah.
I do. So, you know, start pretty soon after you get up. I'm sorry, Jack, I know the clock upset you.
And is that before the coffee or after the coffee?
So at this point, it doesn't matter,
Okay.
okay?
All right.
Because we haven't asked you to do anything about coffee.
Okay.
You just keep doing what you're doing in terms of coffee, and that's fine.
Okay.
So you can take your time getting the fruit in. And
Okay.
then, you know, and you can sip on the Alka-Geyser while you're eating the fruit if you want to do that at the same time. You don't have to pound it down. That's not what we're going for here. And if it takes you a few hours to get through that, that's absolutely fine. When I was doing my 90-day challenge, starting about next week, I was still drinking Alka-Geyser at lunchtime.
That's what I'm worried about. That would be me too.
Oh, and that's fine. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Okay. But not, do I
so-
eat
so just
breakfast
to-
or do I just go to lunch?
I'm sorry, say it again, Linda.
Do I eat breakfast or do I just go to lunch if it's at noon?
We want you to eat breakfast,
Okay. All right.
right? And then I still want you to eat lunch. Now, I recognize that you may be eating less and you may be changing your timings while you're getting this under control,
Okay.
but do your best to get get breakfast, lunch, and dinner in.
Okay.
And if you need to cut down on the quantities in order to be able to do that, cut down on those concentrated foods rather than cutting down on the fruit. There are a bunch of really important reasons that we want you to start with the fruit.
Okay.
And we're not telling you what they all are yet. You'll hear more
Okay.
about that next week. Just trust us on this. Okay.
Okay. I will, but if I want to pound it all down at once, I can, right? Okay. All right.
Yeah, you can do it whichever way you want, whatever works for you. I'm sorry, Stan, you had a question, comment, thought?
You already answered it.
Okay.
It was about if we were really supposed to have breakfast, even if we ran into lunchtime with the Alka-Geyser. So
Yeah.
you answered that.
Yeah, and what I wound up doing personally was I would eat like my regular breakfast, even though it was lunchtime. And then I would eat like less than half of what my lunch was going to be because I was like mid-afternoon by that time and I knew I still had to get dinner in.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And for me, breakfast food was more important to me than lunch food at that stage. because I was, you know, still eating sandwiches sometimes
Okay.
in those days.
Question.
Sure.
So, because you know me and my water intake is tough. It's tough for me. Does the Alka-Geyser count towards any of that water?
Good question, but no.
Okay.
And the other
And
thing I
then
wanted, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. The
Okay.
only other question is there a specific time, like, that you would suggest having dinner by, like, so you don't eat so late, or
What time do
like
you go to bed? What time do you go to bed typically?
I go to bed like at 1 in the morning?
Okay, then no.
Okay.
I mean, you know, if you're going to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning, you want to be done eating probably by 9:30 or 10.
But technically, one, I do go back to work and all that jazz. I'll go to bed at like 11. So you want to stop eating by like 7?
Yeah, you want to be done eating typically about 3 to 4 hours before you're going to bed. And what you'll find over time is that really makes you feel much better, and it makes you sleep much better, because your body is not only so a bunch of things happen when you sleep, and a lot of what happens when you sleep is that your body is repairing itself, and that takes a fair amount of energy to be able to do that. So if you've eaten, especially a heavy meal, relatively close to going to bed, your sleep quality is going to be significantly disrupted in terms of the body being able to repair itself and problem solve, which is another really cool sleep benefit. But because what it's doing is sending all of its energy to digest all this food that you've dumped in late at night. So that's the real reason you don't want to be eating too much as you're getting closer to bedtime. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
I have one more question. Is you have your fruit, your Alka-Geyser as per recipe, and then my breakfast oftentimes is my smoothie, most every morning, and it has a half a banana in it. So do I quit the banana? Do I eat the banana in it still?
I think that you can actually, I think what you can do is substitute the apple for the banana and just have the Alka-Geyser, and let that be what your smoothie was.
Okay.
And then that way, even if you're still sipping on it as you get closer to lunchtime, you'll be more ready for lunch.
Okay.
Rather than trying, you know, if you're doing something else for breakfast, then, you know, you want to eat breakfast foods, but you're already a green smoothie person, so.
Yeah, with a shot of vanilla, the cleanest vanilla protein.
Yeah, you might, well, that's not an Alka-Geyser.
I understand. That's what I mean with my smoothie.
Yeah. So if you want to keep having your smoothie after, that's fine.
Okay.
For now.
Okay.
But don't put the protein powder in your Alka-Geyser.
Alka-Geyser. Okay. All right.
And one of the things you guys are going to discover is that the Alka-Geyser is really just a hack for being a way to be able to get a lot of vegetables in without having to eat them. So, I mean, for example, when I make a salad, I use a 1.5 quart size bowl, and I fill up the entire bowl. It takes a while to eat that much greens, you know? And so the Alka-Geyser, just grinding them all up, is a much easier way to be able to get a lot of high quality food in pretty quickly.
That's the only way I could suck them down these days. And time, you know, having to make the salad prep. I mean, in my smoothies, I'll even drop a tomato in there, whatever I have in the refrigerator.
Yeah, so cool.
And I can continue to do that, right? Have my regular.
Yeah, you can absolutely continue to have your regular smoothie. Just don't alter the Alka-Geyser recipe at this point. Okay.
All right.
One of the observations in the video today that I've made a note about, that I really like the way that we say this, is fruits and vegetables do not fight disease. The absence of them contributes to disease.
Right.
I just that's such a different way to think about it, you know. And of course, what we're going for is, both with fruits and vegetables, increasing the quantity, increase the quality as much as possible. I mean, ideally we want organic, and increase the variety. And, you know, for those of us that are eating alone, for me, it means going to the store more frequently so that I don't rot my food. But figure out what works for you guys, and there you go. And you did pick up on the statement, do not cook your fruit, period. Okay. So no cooking of fruit.
That statement you said, fruit and veggies don't fight disease, but the absence of them causes?
Absence of fruits and vegetables contributes to disease.
Contributes, okay.
Sally?
Yeah.
When I went through the nutritional courses through cancer treatments, chemo, they used to say, feed your immune system, starve cancer.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
that's
that's good for COVID too, but they don't
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yep.
Well,
Feed
and
your immune system.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's truly one of the reasons that I became such a wild fit aficionado is my immune system is like through the roof now because of the way that I've changed my eating habits. And, as my friends have noticed, I don't look at all like the same person I did. I don't feel like the same person I did. The energy level, all of that stuff is just so super cool. And what we're really starting with the Alkagizer, with the fruits, is boosting your immune systems starting now. And that's step one. Go ahead, Jeanette.
So I can't find the Alkagizer recipe. I don't know what I'm missing here, guys.
Let me get my phone. Let me see if I can tell you.
And I'm going to go look and see. I mean, I've got it. I can post it.
It should be on the video page. There should be a link underneath the video.
Okay. Not very much. See, I pulled the video up.
Sure.
And
I'll get it.
I was able to just walk into the participant site, and I just pulled up the video. So you have to scroll down the page, and we've got
Okay.
bonus information, and then on the right-hand side is important links.
Oh, there it is.
Got it?
Yep, that's okay.
Cool.
It's different on my phone than on my computer for some reason.
Interesting.
Mm.
It must be the mobile-friendly site. Watch the air quotes. Uh,
Perfect.
Cool. And then the other thing I want you guys really paying attention to, especially over the weekend, is, because we're not going to talk again until Monday, is all the victories that you're having already. And so, Stan talked about the awareness around what happens with the glass of wine and the timing issue with that. That's a victory. Just really noticing that is a victory in and of itself. Linda talked about how the sandwich made her feel like crap and wanted her to go to sleep. That's a victory. And so it's really, really important that we recognize all of the victories. Sandra's working on increasing the water intake, as difficult as she's finding that. So again, that's a victory because it's progress, it's moving forward. And Jeanette's noticing how sugar is making her feel as she ingests this stuff. All of this is really good stuff. I'm really proud of all of you guys for playing full out. Every victory that you notice does a couple of different things. And the first one is, and this, I mean, it may sound a little bit silly, but it's absolutely true. When you're noticing your victories, you're boosting your self-esteem. And as you boost your self-esteem and your confidence in what it is that you're doing, it becomes easier to do that thing. So it is really important to pay attention to what the victories are. If you decide to start your fruit over the weekend, that's cool, not required at all. But if you decide to start it over the weekend, it's a victory that you're having your fruit first thing in the morning. If you wait until Monday, that's your victory. Having it first thing Monday morning. Drinking your Alkagizer, that's a victory. All of those things, the more closely that you can adhere to the rules as we're laying them out, the better you're going to feel about yourself and your progress. And the real deal is that makes it so much easier coming up in the coming weeks when we, probably will start taking things away. So, yes, ma'am.
I had a question about the name Alkagizer. Is that because it's alkaline based?
Mhm.
Thank you.
It's alkaline energizer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very important. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I love that because you know what happens to an acidic body.
Absolutely. Okay, we're almost at the top of the hour. Before I let you guys go, let's just check back real quick. Anybody have any other questions we haven't addressed today?
I'm good.
We're feeling good? Give me a thumbs up. Cool. All righty. I hope you guys have an amazing and fascinating weekend, and I can't wait to hear on Monday what you decided to do in the buffer zone. So we'll be talking.
Well, my mind is made up because I had my husband buy all the food today. So tomorrow morning,
Oh,
First
bad
day.
decision. Bad decision.
Cool.
okay,
Have
everybody.
a good weekend, everybody.
Yeah, I hope you guys have
Bye.
a great weekend. And yeah, we'll see where we are on Monday. Have
Okay.
fun.
All right,
Thanks.
bye.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
Sally.
Bye.